Riot was doing horrible things to this chair. Is that correct?
I think we were just looking at the... No, we were looking at the statues. We haven't done anything with the chair yet.
You've identified the dragon statues as blue dragons based on their features.
Yeah.
Correct. And I want McDohl to take a look at this abacus with Detect Magic up to see if it's particularly magical.
Yeah, and I will do so.
It is indeed magical.
And I will confirm that.
Is it magical in the sense of the hut, though, or is it magical in the sense of those doors that were especially magical?
No, it's a magical item.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to cast Identify on it as a ritual.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing in this 10 minutes?
Ryan's gonna go look behind the throne.
Okay.
I'm investigating one of these pillars.
What do you mean by investigating?
Walking over between two of them and getting a better look at it.
Okay.
Oh, 1 second.
They seem to be... How is this identify? What's
Because
the...
I'm casting it as a ritual.
Oh, God.
I still don't get it.
It's the Full Metal Alchemist opening.
Okay. It's like one of your Japanese animes.
I turned it down because it will be going on for the next 10 minutes.
Just go ahead and... I can mute you, that's fine. So looking at the pillars, they look like they're sunken down into the ground. Like there's a depression in between where 4 tiles meet, where this pillar is recessed into.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was not on purpose.
Yeah, sure, okay. How many of these pillars do you touch at the same time?
I was just going to touch one at the same time.
Just touch one?
Standing between two of them, yeah.
And reaching out and putting your hand on one, it feels pretty smooth to the touch, but you immediately jerk your hand back as there's a mild amount of electrical discharge.
Can I say that how many of these pillars do you touch at the same time is the most loaded question I've ever heard.
Riot, how many of these thrones do you touch at the same time?
I'm only touching one because I'm looking at trying to figure out if there's anything back here.
Walking around behind the throne, it looks too big to move, but it also doesn't look affixed to the floor. The throne itself is very opulent, but it's not a particular make that you're familiar with. Like it doesn't look like it doesn't look like it would be at home in like any place of nobility that you've personally visited.
Okay. Is it too big to move for a giant ape? Because that didn't stop being a thing.
Probably, actually.
Okay.
It looks enormous.
Right.
That is yet to stop being a thing.
I mean, are you going to try to beat on it and knock it over?
No, I'm just going to try and pull on it.
And try to pull on it?
Yeah.
Make a strength check. Make it at disadvantage.
Okay.
You'll sort them.
Oh, man. That was almost a 26, but it's only a 9.
Only 9.
It's only 11.
I mean, you get your big ape hands on this thing, and you start rocking it back and forth with all your might. But it doesn't budge. It doesn't move from that spot.
Then Riot just walks down here.
Oh, could I maybe give her a hand by trying to move it, like, do the aid action? Give her, remove the disadvantage?
You could try, but the only reason I allowed Riot to roll is because she's an ape to begin with, so your aid wouldn't offer much help.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to strength of 22 there.
Figured I might as well ask. But... So, while Frosty's over here J-popping it up.
We're about 3 minutes in.
Is that all that's happening over the course of the next 10 minutes, you guys? What's Nath's next pillar?
Unless Nath is trying to electrocute himself, like that's...
No, I mean, after finding out the pillars are electric, I don't think Nath's going to do anything specific with them.
Hey, Nath, this thing is magic. Frosty's going to figure out what it is.
Ferocity. What it is an item called the Abacus of Calculation.
Okay.
Requires attunement, and it requires you have an intelligence score of at least 14. It requires, for any of its uses, to be held in both hands. You can't hold it and a weapon, or and a shield, or and a spell focus. All mundane mathematical calculations made with this abacus are guaranteed perfectly accurate. That's pretty much limited to simple arithmetic tasks. You couldn't do like complex measurements or things with this device. But it has 10 charges, and it has these following abilities. You have to have 2 free hands to use any abilities because you have to do calculations on the abacus. As a bonus action, you can spend 5 charges to grant a creature you can see advantage on 1 attack roll, saving throw, or ability check of their choice before the end of your next turn.
I'm sorry. Advantage on ability checks.
Basically anything.
Saving
Attack
throw.
roll, saving throw, or ability check.
Do you have all this written down? Is there a reason I'm typing this?
Yeah, I have it all written
Can you
down.
just paste it for us?
I
Okay,
could, but you've been
great,
playing
fantastic.
anime music all day, so this is your
Yeah, you're right.
comeuppance. If you use those charges on somebody and they end up not making such a check, the charges are not spent. You could also use your bonus action and spend 5 charges to grant disadvantage on any type of roll on a creature before the end of your next turn. Or
If they hit, does it still not spent?
what do you mean if they hit?
Like on the other one, if they missed, it's not spent.
No,
On
if
this
they
one,
don't
that
make
thing
the check,
hits-
it's not spent.
Oh, if they don't make the check.
Right, like if you grant Kelian advantage on his attack roll, but he chooses not to attack, the charges don't get spent. If you grant Kelian advantage on the attack roll and he rolls 2 1s, your charges are gone.
Got it.
And same thing for disadvantage. If you grant an enemy disadvantage on their attack roll, but they decide not to attack, the charges aren't spent. Or, as a reaction, which means you have to be holding the abacus when you use the reaction in both hands, you can spend any amount of charges remaining to modify any die roll by that many places. You can spend 5 charges to make a die roll plus or minus 5 in either direction you need it to go. Essentially, the magic of this abacus allows you to alter probability in such a way to actually affect material change as long as you're attuned to the item and as long as you're actively doing calculations on it.
Got it.
And now I'm going to
very
go ahead
valuable.
and paste that into Twitch chat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think Twitch chat will hold all of that, so maybe I can't.
Discord.
I can't paste it in Discord, though.
Oh, it's not either.
Good thing I typed all this out then.
Yeah, good thing.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yes, it does recharge. 1d10 minus 1 charges at the end of every long rest.
And you know how many recharged?
Sure.
Okay. Well, you've pulled that one on us before.
Yeah, not with this item, though.
Yeah.
This is a slightly more powerful item. You guys are getting up in level. So who's taking this abacus that you've won from the statue room?
I don't have any attunement slots left.
Ferocity will take it.
Yeah, it's like Liberation hasn't attuned to much, but he uses his hands to do things.
Yeah, it's mostly a question of spell focus. It's mostly a question of I don't want to look up the components on every spell I cast. Might not
I got
even
no
be that
problem with it.
inconvenient.
And I got some vocal spells. Ferocity will hold it for the duration of this adventure, at least.
Okay.
And I've got 16 intelligence. Weird, right?
Yeah.
So what's next?
What's your wisdom at?
My wisdom? That's a 12.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next? Doesn't look like there's much we can do in here except kill ourselves.
Whatever this.
Riot starts walking up to the north door.
Can always sit in the throne.
Oh, indeed, Beyond's so good, I can put this magic item into the tool.
Yeah, nobody sat in the throne.
Someone
Yeah,
just sit in
does
the throne.
Keelan want to do that before we leave?
Ferocity does it.
Okay, Ferocity does it.
I'm sorry, Ferocity's a sensate.
Yeah. no, we get it.
That's true.
Ferocity sits in the throne, and
Uh-huh.
immediately you hear a shriek from the sky as Ferocity seems to have captured the dragon's attention.
Alright, Ferocity cast Dimension Door.
Okay. And the spell does not function inside the hut.
Ah! But I did still cast the spell. And so
Okay.
I'm afraid.
So Riot leaves for the north door because that sounds scary.
Well, did Ferocity cast Dimension Door? Because it is a verbal component.
Oh,
It's
yeah, absolutely.
It's actually only
Well,
a verbal component.
do you want me to play it like shittily? Like, I don't understand what the goal is. Yeah, I cast. Ferocity
Okay.
cast.
But the spell does not function. Riot, you heard the shriek of this dragon and you pieced out?
Yeah, I'm up. I'm
Oh,
going
yeah,
north.
Ferocity's absolutely running like hell.
Okay, and the door connects to this door here. On the right side of this pool.
Oh, okay. Over
We're on
over-
J.
I see you.
Do I need to do this round by round, Frick? Or am I able to
No,
run
if you're
through that door?
leaving, if you don't stay on the chair, the dragon loses
Oh, yeah,
interest in a few
Frosty's
moments.
gone.
And as soon as you jump off the chair, the dragon resumes its circling above, just leaving an ominous shadow
Ah,
Was that, like
in the
an,
throne room.
was that like an angry shriek or a my master has just sat in this chair shriek? That's the question we must ask ourselves.
I don't know. Whatever.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it.
So
you're
this is
basically
the,
This party's pieced out.
so this is the same. Like, there's still a force wall up here, right? I'm assuming Riot's gonna like put a hand out.
And yeah, it's a solid
Yes.
force wall.
Yeah, this is what we saw earlier.
Right. Beats on it a couple times.
And you start seeing the water at the far edge of the pool start bubbling up. And then the bubbles start moving in your direction.
That's
When
ominous.
When I stop beating on it, does the bubble stop?
Stop beating on it, it does not. And
Has no
before
one
long-
never told you not to tap the glass?
Before long, a gargantuan creature pokes its massive head out of the water. It's got a slender serpentine body, but the head is that of a... I'm lost. All my adjectives have failed me. A very elegant jungle cat with golden fur and golden eyes.
Okay.
Hey, Brick. Just
Yes, sir.
for purposes of bookkeeping, I'll let you know at the end of one of my turns if I'm using my free use an item thing to swap to the abacus. Otherwise, you can assume it's not in my hands for purposes of reaction.
I'm just gonna do that anyway, so.
All right, I figured I'd make
I,
it easy. Just
I try
say
not
now.
to sweat the swap hands around thing, but basically the way it'll work is if you make an attack on your turn and you're holding a weapon, then you can't use the abacus reaction because you've already established that there's something in your hands.
Got it.
But otherwise,
I
yeah,
will-
I don't see much point in tracking hand stuff that finely. That just seems like a lot of work for very little gain. But this creature regards Riot very curiously.
And Riot is gonna, at this point, seeing that does it look intelligent, the creature?
Looks very curious right now.
Then Riot's just gonna go ahead and let the polymorph drop
Okay.
and address it. It came out of the water. Does it look aquatic?
It looks like it's very much at home, kind of swaying back and forth in the water.
Then Riot will call out and greet it in Aquan.
Okay. And the thing responds telepathically so that you can all understand. And it has a very celestial sounding voice in your minds. And the thing says, did anybody ever tell you not to tap on the glass? No, it says...
like a dirtbag celestial.
It's been a very, very long time since we have received visitors.
How long has it been?
It says it's difficult to measure days from weeks, from years in this place. I fear I have perhaps lost count.
Are you a servant of Eldove's?
Serpent.
I knew it was coming. I wasn't going to say it, but I knew it was coming. He says he is, kind of sadly, he is a prisoner of Eldove's.
Okay.
Why?
That's not very nice.
Yeah, that's kind of a dick move, Eldove.
Why did he imprison you here?
Yeah.
Make a... Don't make anything yet.
Okay.
He says that he is a serpent of the river Oceanus. And that Eldove, like many up-jumped mortal sorcerers, devoid of morality or any sort of ethical compass, saw only the vast magic powers that the various denizens of the plains controlled, and imprisoned many of them in this place over the years, seeking to control them, to break them down to their component magical energies. Fiend and celestial alike, of which he is one of many.
I can sympathize with there. I used to be able to do that, to bind Celestials to my will, but I gave it up when I saw what it was like.
If it makes you feel better, we think he got his.
And he says that though he is a prisoner in this place and has been for some time, he still cannot bring himself to wish ill upon his captor. In his own way, it's likely he did not know the sins that he was committing. And so I do not condemn him.
We think
don't
that
worry, I'll
might
do
be
it for you,
literally
then.
true, because we hear the hut took over his mind.
Yeah, we think he's a prisoner here as much as you are.
Do you know anything about the place that we could use to get him out and then get you out?
He briefly describes the nature of the room that he's trapped in. And I mean, it's what you see is what you get. He says there's this pool that was painstakingly filled over the years with holy water, so as to contain a celestial beast. And then these walls of force were erected so that he could not leave the pool.
Can you fly?
And it shakes his head. Sadly not.
Is
I could
holy water
potentially get
good?
you through one of the walls, but unfortunately the last lap between here and the exit would require flight.
Is holy water good for quenching an evil thirst? Because we were going through this room and it was real messed up.
It inquires of ferocity. Are you a prisoner here as well?
Maybe? We didn't do a whole lot of testing with the front door.
Well, as it stands, I think this is the place that we are in is a prisoner in and of itself. You don't know much about I'm assuming you don't know much about what's going on outside, do you?
He says that terms like outside really don't hold much meaning for him here.
Well, here's the situation, and Liberation breaks it down for him how the hut has been captured by Yugoloss.
And it sways back and forth for some time before inquiring as to the nature of these Yugoloths. Begins asking questions like, who are they? What are they? Like, what are their designs on the hut or on Eldove?
They don't want anything. They're a group of mercenaries. They don't want anything from. They only want the hut and its power.
And do you know their names? Any of these mercenaries?
We tried to get that out of them, but they were pretty reticent with that information.
They're on a big old war machine called the Relentless. That's where actually the hut is being held right now.
I think it's called the Dauntless.
No, that's
No,
where
That's where you wanted to go.
Oh, right.
I will let one of you make me a Wisdom Insight check, real quick.
Who's got the best score?
I've got a +7.
That's gonna
That
be-
should be me. I have +12 to my insight.
I'm sorry, what was that number?
+12.
Oh boy.
Go ahead and roll that, sir. Wisdom Insight.
It's 26.
You notice recognition when you begin talking about the Relentless. And you notice a distinct change in the things questioning as it's asking you, for example, like what plane is the hut on, where was it traveling to, fishing for information like that. When you mention the Relentless, it's very quickly changes topics. Begins asking questions about your adventures here. Begins finding out what your designs are on the hut, if you're not prisoners, if you weren't captured. And it was subtle, but you noticed he was very interested in where he was and who these Yugoloths were until somebody mentioned the Relentless, and then he clammed up and shifted gears.
And Kelian will call him out on it.
What does Kelian say?
Why the sudden shift in conversation? I thought you want to know all about the Relentless. Now you want to know about our adventures.
He makes an apology. He says it's been many years, he imagines, since he's been able to practice the art of conversation. Perhaps he is a little rusty. He did not mean to give offense.
Well, no offense taken, but clearly you've heard of the Relentless.
And he says he's not sure. I mean, the word relentless could mean many things in different contexts.
What does it mean to you?
Kelian, make a intelligence history check. He talks about actually, you're the worst celestial ever, so no, you don't get to make this an advantage.
Intelligence history?
You don't know that. Maybe he went to church all his young.
He tells
17.
you the story of an order of elvish paladins from Arborea who sailed upon the river Oceanus from time to time, that he had some minor contact with as they traveled to or fro various quests. And they called themselves the Order of the Relentless. You rolled a 17?
Yeah.
There is no such order to your knowledge.
If we were to get you out of here and you were to be suddenly on Acheron, would you be able to return to your home? Can you plane shift or anything like that?
He says if he was free from the hut, yes, he would be able to plane shift home immediately.
I think I can arrange that. Potentially, assuming that these walls of force aren't like some of the other magic walls.
And he would be greatly in your debt. Although he finds it difficult to believe that a mortal wizard would control more magic power than he has. I mean, his control of magic is what attracted Eldove to him in the first place. It's the very reason why he's a prisoner here.
What was Eldove doing collecting all this power? I mean, from friend and Riot will explain, from what we were told, the previous owner of this hut was involved in some kind of scheme to trap death. Is that what this is about?
He says that he doesn't know. He's actually never personally met the master of the hut.
Well, that's
What if you tried to escape? Did you try disintegrating things?
And he does a quick rundown of various things that he's tried to bring down the walls of force and exit out of this pool. He explains that when you travel downward in the pool, it seems to extend infinitely in all directions. And he's spent eons traveling the dark depths, that he thought he heard some kind of noise relatively recently, and so he began swimming back to the surface, and then just recently emerged.
Yeah, we did that one, the whole infinity thing. Wasn't very fun.
It's a strange place.
So then he inquires to Nath what his plan is.
Well, if I can disintegrate one of these walls, that would get you egress to the next level up, at which point I could use Wall of Force to create a bridge over the gap, and that would let you just get your way up to the exit. I would immediately leave Archon, given that you'll be surrounded by a number of Yugoloths. Though we could also try parlaying with them and just say we have a prisoner we're freeing as part of our work to bring the HUD under control.
I would just leave, actually. Nope, I don't think they're going to be parlaying.
He says it's worth a try. He would be very deep in your debt if you were able to free him from this pool.
Fiends love parlay. Especially Yugoloths.
And I'll look back at the group, particularly giving a meaningful glance to Liberation. All right, anyone want to come with me back up to the entrance? I have to come at this from the other side. I only have one disintegrate.
I don't really
I'll
want to
come
go
with
to that room again. But yeah, Riot steps aside. Floor is yours.
Unfortunately, my connection on Discord has been kind of squirrely today, so I missed a lot of that conversation.
Do you want to go blow up a thing?
To let this Celestial out of its prison.
So Nath's plan is to traverse the hut, come back into this room from the north direction here through the stairs.
Yeah.
So you could blow up part of the wall, then he can escape up those stairs. Am I understanding that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then use Wall of Force to give him a bridge over the infinite gap.
Liberation nods, and then once we leave the area, Liberation has something to say.
Okay. Let's go back to...
Jay, we haven't made
Jay.
sure this is two-way yet, so let's step in.
Are we going as a group then? It sounds like.
Yeah.
And it does indeed connect back up to that door, just like you expect.
Okay.
Back through I.
Yep, let's check out.
Oh,
Let's see if we
wait,
go to the
Liberation
roll
has
room.
something to say.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, something about this just doesn't sit right with me.
Well, Kelian will go up to the force wall, and Kelian says, perhaps me more than any other Celeste can appreciate a celestial being that has no qualms about telling lies. But as far as I'm aware, there's no elvish order of paladins commanding a ship called the Relentless.
And he dismisses that as saying he wouldn't expect you to know the names of all the orders of elvish paladins.
Oh.
Although he has great interest in educating you if you would like to sit and converse with him. He would welcome the company after many years of solitude. Oh, you're alone in the room at this point? Liberation is left?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kelian,
All
roll
right.
initiative.
Fuck, God. All right. Cool. We'll allow it.
You'll allow it?
Yeah.
Where's my phone?
Don't worry, I'll just use my abacus to... Oh, wait.
All right. It's 20.
20.
Yeah. Kelian gets to act first, maybe.
Maybe. Just bear with me one moment. Where are you standing in relation to the wall as this conversation is taking place?
He probably would be pretty close to it.
Okay. You win initiative. It looks like this thing, something terrible is about to happen. Just the hackles on the back of your neck is standing up. It tells you that he watched Liberation leave the room, leaving you alone with it. You're calling it out on lies. You've got a really, really bad feeling about this.
Yoink.
And Kelian comes through the door.
Guys, I think this is a bad idea.
What makes you say that?
call it a hunch. He's not. He's a celestial, and he's not being honest with us. And well, and Kelian points at himself, 2 thumbs. Like, come on.
I don't want to be rude, but could you perhaps be projecting?
I
think this is a bad idea.
Nath's
Well-
already gone through door I.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
well,
I guess this is a Aaron Sorkin walk and talk then.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, let me make sure I'm saving the right map here. Oh, I almost didn't. I almost messed everything up forever.
you almost ruined everything. Let's see. Here's the thing, though. I mean, I was like, from what Fred and Zook have told us of Eldove, he seems like a pretty okay guy. I don't understand why he would lock up anything.
did you notice he wouldn't answer that question? He's like, wait, let me tell you something about conjuring and summoning. When you do it, the thing that you conjure has to do what you want. There's no way Eldove conjured the thing and then didn't tell it to do anything. And then it wouldn't tell us what Eldove wanted it to do.
Yeah, that's kind of what's got me kind of confused about the whole situation.
I didn't think it was dangerous at first, but if Kelian says so, something about it did seem off to me too. I'm kind of inclined to agree with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to dissuade Kilian's judgment. He's generally good at reading people, even if some of his other skills are more questionable.
Hey.
He seemed very celestial to me, but if you guys say so.
Well,
At any rate, it's not like we need
Riot
to
can make-
free it right this moment if we can do it on the way out.
Well, Riot can
Sure.
seem like anything as well, but that's
True.
Riot.
I mean, it did have a few. We saw it break the surface, but we didn't see what it was like down there. There's a lot of things that can look like other things.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we told it we were going to set it free. Would it really then go, no, I don't want to be free,
Even an evil thing would want to be free. You understand, right?
So
True.
what's the problem?
So the problem is, it sounds like Healing is saying this thing is going to turn on us as soon as it is free. Right now, there's a force cage in between it and us. If our plan is to go down there and have Nath break through that force wall, then that suddenly becomes a huge problem. So let's not do that.
It is worth noting too that I only started feeling this when I was alone in the room with it. When 5 of us were all there, it didn't
Maybe
feel
because
like
we had it
so.
outnumbered.
Yeah.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. Why would it risk its chances of getting free, which we're already going to give it, to attack us? I mean, worst comes to worst, it leaves one more terrible thing on our...
I think we can do better things here with Nath magic than free something that hates us.
I just
Or
thought
one
you'd
of
be
us,
more
anyway.
into freeing something.
And then, yeah, I am. I want to know the whole story first.
I mean,
I
I'll
wanna
defer
be
to
ready.
Kilian's judgment on this, all else being equal.
I want to be able to. I don't, like I said, I don't want this thing to turn on us suddenly. Suddenly he's like, oh, hey, you lost are my best buddies.
Plenty of other
We're
doors in this
working for
place.
the
There's
Eldove.
2 other routes into that room, so might have another chance later.
Our job is to find Eldove. We should stick to finding Eldove.
Well, unfortunately, that's beyond our ken right now.
Alright, so we'll just keep checking doors. Maybe we'll come back down there and it'll be more
Yeah.
talkative.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking of which, this is a portal. Let's take a look.
Through the north door
Sure, I
there.
love portals.
So we just use. Are we on K?
Yeah.
K is new,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and that connects you to the north door in the bottomless pit room.
I got it.
Nope.
Okay, Riot walks right back through.
Yeah,
Not a fan.
it's completely
Yeah.
reasonable.
Did we ever try the west door in the bottomless pit room?
I don't think we did.
We didn't know. But if we want to do that, I think we can go the long way around, up one of those stairs, and then a real quick duck through that door. I don't feel like walking.
Speaking of stairs, and Frosty will look over to the left.
Yeah, there's that.
Got two of them.
For us,
there's
we
that.
can only do one thing at a time.
Why?
Because that's how existence works.
I don't know. Have you tried?
Because
anything
when
else?
Because when we are alone and go through the door, stuff like what happened to Kelian back there happened.
You get drunk.
That was me.
We're going through the south door here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let me save.
I mean, I can walk and cast spells at the same time, but that might just be
Ew.
my gift.
Want to mark this to L before Rickard saves it?
I already saved it.
Can chew all the gum I want.
I'm gonna throw an L down, and then I'll save it again, maybe.
Yeah, I'll do that right now. What? Oops. No, I clicked on the old one. What? There you go. There's an L.
One of these I'm gonna
Amazing.
accidentally save the wrong thing. I just know it. I just know I am.
It's fine. What's the? You'll just have to start telling us what the doors go.
The UI in tabletops has definitely gotten.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Still, they got a lot of stuff to fix. Still,
You guys
get
come
around
through
to it.
this door here.
This looks familiar. Was this a room
Why
from the
is
old
it-
hut?
Uncovered.
Where's my thingy?
And stepping into this room here, same kind of construction as the rooms you've seen, mostly sandstone walls and floors. The ceiling is a little lower in this room. You've only got about 7 feet of clearance above you here. Everywhere you look in these rooms, filled with useless debris and just looks like a garbage heap in every direction. Pieces of broken furniture, discarded like cloths and linens and things, broken weapons, broken pottery, just stacks of rubbish. And in this square room, you've got a staircase leading up here and a staircase leading down here.
Liberation starts heading up the stairs.
Okay.
Liberation is the kind of person when confronted with an upstair and a downstair takes the upstair.
And when you get to this landing, you have more stairs up here. Then you have a spiral staircase here leading up. And
Might as
again,
well
the
check
room
this
is just
whole room.
mostly filled with rubbish.
Nath's gonna open this door and see if it's a portal.
It's a black pane of glass.
Okay.
Nice. Hell yeah.
In Liberation, you climb to this landing, and once again, you've got a staircase leading up to the north, a door off to the south, and room full of rubbish.
Open up the door.
And it's black pane of glass.
Alright.
That doesn't add up.
Why not?
When
Sorry,
you come up
what?
to this landing, once again, you've got stairs leading up. Behind you, you've got another door, and then you've got spiral staircase leading down.
These chambers wouldn't map to a flat piece of paper.
Well, yeah, we're going up.
Yeah. I mean, we're on like the 3rd or 4th floor now.
Yeah, you wanna go back up.
Yeah.
Go up, and you continue to go in circles like this.
Do I recognize any of the rubbish in this room as the room we entered in?
Make a
I mean,
wisdom,
we left the door open.
Make
We're
a
in.
wisdom perception.
Sure.
Red's past
Say
perception is
27.
Ridiculous.
27.
It's not that good.
Yeah, stepping up to this landing, you recognize a creepy doll sitting in the rubbish that you saw when you first came through the door.
We've walked past this doll before. I'm telling you, these rooms don't map to a flat sheet of paper.
Its eyes follow you. You'll never sleep again.
I think you're right, actually.
That's
Huh.
completely like Liberation starts tearing off back down the stairs in this direction.
And you guys hear the, you hear his
lean against
clomping.
this wall and just sort of start casually whistling.
Yeah, you hear his
Wave.
footsteps disappear down the stairs, and then before too long, a couple seconds later, here comes Liberation tearing down the stairs.
Huh.
I
Wow.
know a lot of exercise fiends who would pay a lot for this place.
Hey, but is this the second spiral staircase here?
Yes, this one goes up, this one goes down.
Doors or staircases.
God, there's so many to choose from here. Let's just take.
I would
doors
suggest a
first.
door because the last time we tried a long
Yeah.
staircase, it was infinite, or
Right. Let's go through this door.
asymptotically approaching the elemental plane of ice. It's a quasi.
That was a
Huge.
lot of really long words.
Kelian is hippity hop. Do we just come out? The version goes up the stairs again. Creepy doll.
Creepy doll.
All right.
Try. I'll double check to make sure it's two directional
It is
in
indeed.
action.
Riot walks down these stairs and
Yep.
goes.
Uh-oh.
And Riot goes through this door then. Okay. Well, I guess it's one of the staircases then.
Going up or going down?
I feel like going down. I'm too tired to walk up.
Well, this is the upstairs. These
Oh.
are the downs here. You got to go up
So we
these
go
stairs to get
down
to
a
these
few
downs.
steps.
That's
Well, we
true.
could go down to get to them.
I'm boned either way.
Ugh.
What are you doing?
You climb down those stairs and you emerge back into this
Oh,
corner room.
okay.
Here. The two staircases connect to each other.
All right, we're in the best place. Version.
We're in Eldove's garbage dump.
I'll start actually searching through here for any hidden doors or passages or anything.
Searching where?
The room I'm in.
Okay,
Searching
make
through the
an
rubble.
Intelligence investigation check.
Riot's gonna search this wall right here, see if there's any hidden doors.
Hey, right, you got to make that check as well.
18.
I'm going to search creepy doll room.
Yeah, and I'll take the top right, left.
Nath,
Mm-hmm.
going through the debris, you
I find
find
nothing.
under a pile of dust and broken furniture, you find what looks like a playing card. And you turn it over, and you see your own form, but you're looking at your dead and decayed body. And in the corners of the cards, like up where the suits would be, you just see angled sickles.
I got a 10 up here, but
You got a 10? What'd you get, Riot, looking at the wall?
19.
And what did Liberation get up there?
7.
Riot, you find a similar card against the wall, except looking at it, it's your dead body. With
I don't
sickles
find
in the
anything
corners.
here, so I'm gonna search where Liberation was.
I'm gonna keep it and try going through one of these doors.
Okay, and the doors do exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Hey, Ryan, find anything?
I got a 14 up by Liberation.
And you don't find anything else useful.
Yeah.
What's
Riot
Kelian
joins the
doing?
group. It says, anyone else find one of these?
Yeah. Are they the same, like, the sickle design is the same on both?
They look like they would be from the same deck of cards, if that helps.
Do they look like they're different, like, was it like a 2 of sickles and a 3 of sickles, or?
No, it looks like a dead Nath of sickles and a dead Riot of sickles.
Okay.
All right,
Face cards, got it.
I guess Kelian's gonna investigate too.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Kelian, go ahead and add a d4 to that. I'll put a guidance on you.
Cool beans.
I want one.
You can have a guidance too.
19.
19. Kelian, over near the spiral staircase, underneath a barrel that does not have a helpful sign with an arrow next to it, you find the Kelian of sickles.
Alright, I'm gonna look in this room with Nath's guidance.
And
Fuck.
Did you already fail an
Traverses.
investigation?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't make another one. You don't get a card. Go sit in the
I'm
corner and
checking
be
in
sad.
different rooms.
hops through the door. Yep, got the Kelian of sickles right here.
This is very macabre and a little bit creepy, and I don't like it.
Is there anything on the back of
it
these
seems
cards?
fun.
Just a design,
Okay.
like a kind of plaid color design thing.
Huh.
Trust me.
Bicycle logo, I guess.
The real bad places don't give you fun playing cards.
Pictures of yourself dead is not very fun.
That's like Candyland.
What's Candyland?
Now I wonder
A
if
land of
Ferocity's ever been to
candy.
Barovia.
Barovia is a prime. That's like Candyland.
I guess is Barovia? They have actually established if it is or
It's
not.
prime-ish.
It's like
It's a
kind
demi-plane.
of a demi. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Well,
It's literally the demi-plane of Dread is the...
demi-planes are on the ethereal plane in Planescape lore.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, so I've read a lot of Planescape. I don't know if you've noticed. So yeah, what's next? Now that you've tried all the doors and the stairs and
looked for exits everywhere.
you try to
found these.
find a couple more cards, try to go for a full house.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bad idea.
I don't know. I'm gonna... Like, I know you said Ferocity doesn't get a card, but there's absolutely zero chance that Ferocity wouldn't keep searching for a card.
Yeah,
So
but
just assume that's what she's doing.
Ferocity and Liberation, as hard as they search, do not find cards with their dead bodies on them.
Yeah.
That suits me just fine.
So Liberation's cool with
Well-
this, but Ferocity feels left out.
Ferocity feels left out, yeah. She just wants to be one of the guys.
What are the three you do with the cards that you found?
I'm gonna put it in my pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, Nath's still carrying his.
Yeah, Kelian will still carry his.
This is
He's
dumb.
sort of
And
playing
I'm sorry.
with it between his fingers.
But Riot's gonna walk backwards through this door.
All right. She
You're
comes
gonna walk backwards into hell?
moonwalking
Yeah.
up into D there.
Right. Face God and walk backward into hell.
If this was the first edition one that I ran, that's the kind of gnarly stuff you'd have to do to get around. So
Yeah.
I don't blame you for trying it.
Can we get
Do you
a
have to
tech?
be dead to leave here?
Yeah,
that what
pull
the
out
point of
those
the
cards
cards
real
is?
quick.
Yeah, right. Shows him.
I'm gonna put Detect Magic back up
Thank you.
and take
And-
a look at them.
Powerful death magic associated with these cards.
Yeah, no, there's some really bad mojo here. Like,
Is there like a bowling ball
Death
or anything
and
around here?
conjuration magic.
You guys are like, this is not a good thing.
Nath's trying to find like a
Oh,
giant
can I
slinky
make
to
a-
walk down.
I'm looking for
Ferocity's
specifically a
looking-
fairly heavy round object like a bowling ball.
Wait, I think I know what these might be.
Yeah, we'll say you find something. I want to see where this goes.
And then
I
I
think
want
they
to
might-
get some of these. I want to clear out the center of each of these rooms and put a little, like, end tables and whatnot to form shapes
You
sort
want
of
to
like
do
that.
shenanigans. Yeah. I think these might be the shitty part of a deck of many things.
What?
It's like these decks, right?
And
That
then
you
I would
just
stand
draw,
clear.
You draw from, and then bad stuff happens.
And exactly what you're expecting happens. The ball goes bouncing down the stairs and bounces off the corner, and you hear it bounce down those stairs. Then you hear
And
it
it's
get
gaining
louder as
speed,
it
right?
comes back around. I mean, it's gaining speed going down, but it'll lose speed friction. on
Yeah,
the
it's
floor.
probably there's probably too much.
I don't want to do
going
the.
on.
I don't want to
Doesn't
do the
really
math.
work.
We'll just say it's a zero-sum thing, and the ball just
Yeah.
moves forever, but does not get faster or slower on average. So
Ferocity non-magically does the math on her abacus. It's just like, I think you reached a perfect equilibrium.
Nath is really good at this kind of stuff. So Nath's really proud of what he's accomplished here today.
But the fact of the matter is, we're still stuck here.
I mean, I was hoping it would get faster until it punched through one of the walls. So much for that.